Okay, here's what I can tell you about, without screenshotting stuff, about the Epstein files. I chewed a bunch of Skittles earlier and I bit my sides of my cheeks really hard and it hurts, so it's hard to talk. But, so, um, there is a drug and drugs similar to this drug called scopolamine. And it is sort of like angel dust, where you can put it on a piece of paper, somebody can touch it, and then a moment, or I don't know how long later, they start being extremely agreeable and just doing whatever, like, yeah, oh yeah, and like, obviously if it's dangerous, they're gullible and naive all of a sudden. So in a lot of tourist areas you have this happen often to obvious tour I'm getting flashbacks to Berlin now. Obvious obvious tourists, and oh my god, okay, I'd have to interrupt this for a personal story, and I'm so sorry, but it's related. So when I was in Berlin, there were these two men who said they were from somewhere in Africa, but they spoke French and German and a few other languages, and they were kind of testing me to see what languages I knew. And one was wearing all blue and the other one was wearing all red, like head to toe, do-rag, shirt, pants, shoes, and they looked like brothers. They might have told me they were brothers, but I don't remember. And there was another group of people in like regular streetwear, like that were different from each other, that blended in with the people around them, that kept yelling at me and calling me a tourist. I'm gonna cry. But they were nice, but I was afraid of them. And I was afraid of the two guys too, but they were very like aggressive. And they told me to meet them uh in the center by the church where the burned down church in Berlin is was. I don't know, this was 2004. And they told me to meet them by that church. And then I was like, I'm not going to go there. And then my Oma said we were going to have lunch there with her brother's son and his girlfriend. I don't know for sure who we had the lunch with. Okay. Anyway, so I was getting really scared because we were sitting in the cafe right next to where the church was, and I didn't want to be there. And I started getting really stressed out. And this was after my Oma had showed me the magazine of the naked men at the Love Parade. Like, she showed me a gay magazine of two men. No, maybe it was just a gay magazine of just naked men. And there happened to be photos of two men in that magazine. I don't know. This was 2004 and I was 14. so she goes, you like this, right? And I'm like, no. And there were like pretzels shaped like dicks. And after this trip in Berlin, like in the same trip, but after, she took me to Amsterdam, and it was a lot more of that. But anyway, so we were sitting at the cafe in Berlin, and I start getting really stressed out, and like, I gotta go. I'm gonna go for a walk. And so I excuse myself from my family, and I start going for a walk. And then one of the guys comes up behind me and wraps his arm around my arm. I was trying to just walk away from the church, and then he came up behind me, wrapped his arm around my arm on this side, and said we were gonna go meet a friend. And he started like pulling me on the sidewalk, and I started freaking out, and I said, oh, I have to go meet my aunt over here. And I unlatched my arm from his arm, and I pulled myself straight into traffic and crossed an avenue in downtown Berlin, and kept going like down random alleys and like zigzagging. And there was the Hard Rock Cafe in that alley, and then there was a man who was always posted up on the street corner. Holy shit, oh my god. Okay, there was a man who was always posted up on the street corner before this moment. Like every day he would be there, and he would wear black skinny pants that were like military wear, where they scrunched up at the ankle, black combat boots, a black trench coat, and he had black hair. And he would just stand there and be like posting up, taking watch. And when I went down the alley where the Hard Rock Cafe was, leaving the guy that latched his arm around me, the guy that was in all black was at the end of the alley, and he wasn't posted up at his normal spot. And I'm trying to segue now into what I originally wanted to say, was that's basically what they're doing to people. And I ended up back in the United States. There was also a lady on the subway wearing all red from head to toe in Berlin. Like, she had red shoes, red pantyhose, red skirt, red top, red jacket, red hat, red necklace, red jewelry, red purse. Somebody gave this to my daughter at school. I bought one too the other day online. It hasn't come in the mail yet, but it's a necklace. So anyway, so when they get you and in this scopolamine trance, you end up, holy shit, that's why the guy was waiting at the end of the alley. You end up like following signs, thinking you're like, oh yeah, I'm following a sign. I'm supposed to do so it's combining the scopolamine with the holographic technology, paper thin screens. And I think that's where it gets muddy for me, is because I don't know exactly what's going on after that. I just know that it has to do with the medical industry somehow.